On. Okay, so today I just wanted to remind you guys that today is the last day that you can enter the giveaway for the Backyard Homestead book. The link is down below. That'll take you right to the video. You have to be a subscriber and you have to comment that you want to end on the giveaway. Hi, kitty! So this week, it's just been here or there. My husband's been dealing with the poison ivy. I've had my back being weird, stuff like that. But we didn't get a whole lot that you could actually see done. My husband moved some of the trees and branches and everything. And yeah, it's neither been here nor there. Hi, Kenny. Hi, Grandpa's Farm. So, I do want to do a channel shout out here in a little bit. Hi, Hazel Blue. Can't see the cow. I had the cow right here. I swear. Oh, don't get stung by things, kitties. It stings. Oh. Hi, Orphan Lady. I was going to set up in front of the goat pen, but they were all hanging out inside. And now I see them all playing right over there. So maybe next week, if everything goes well and the weather's nice, I'll set up in front of the goat pen and we'll be able to see all the little babies. Because they're fun. They keep hopping around and they're just priceless. And I'm trying to work on the stream. The quality might be down a bit, but I'm trying to get it better. I am totally not a tech person, so every little bit helps, right? Hi, Family Roots. Hi, Jess. Oh, it's a steady camera. Well, it's on my laptop. It's very mobile. But yeah, I've been having issues with the streaming, and it kind of freezes up a little bit. Hi, everybody, Homestead. And so yeah, I'm just trying to get this to work out so that hopefully eventually I'll have a perfectly good stream that doesn't freeze up on us and has good quality. But for now, it's a work in progress. Hi, Redhead Ranch. So yeah, something I thought was so for those of you who want to do the giveaway, make sure you get entered in that. So far on YouTube I have 57 entries, and on Facebook I've got 11. Hi, Deep South Homestead. And I actually have a paper this week, so that everything... Oh no, it's freezing. Yeah, that's Maybell. I actually have a paper this week so that we can, I can kind of stay with it a little bit better. Hi, Revelation Homestead. Hi, William. This is Maybell. She is our milk cow. She's giving us just over 3 gallons of milk a day, between 3 1/4 and 3 1/2. It depends on how hot the day is and everything else. And I swear I did spray her down for the flies, but the flies like to find the cow. Okay, so yeah, everybody who wants to get entered in that giveaway, go ahead. Today's the last day for that. Alright, I'm going to do... Hi, Big Bear Homestead. I'm going to go ahead and... We'll go ahead and do our channel shout-outs right now, okay? So everybody go ahead and start shouting out channels that you really like to follow or that you think are neat and interesting and just come across. She is a Guernsey Holstein. But, yeah, just do channel shout out, and as Brad says, go ahead and do a shameless plug if you want to. Put your own name up there. But my channel shout out for this week, I've been following this channel for a while. I really enjoy watching her stuff. It is My Homesteading Project. Hi, Off Grid. My Homesteading Project with Tina. She actually did an off-grid washing setup, and it was really, really neat. It actually works. She actually did two-part video, one of her actually setting it up and the other of her using it. All right, so let's see. Grandpa's Farm, Deep South Homestead, Kitty's Homestead, Off-Grid Homesteader, Cecil Skinner, Big Bear Homesteader, Doug and Stacy, Every Bunny Homestead. Hi, Wayne. Grandpa's Farm, Prepper Nurse 1. Haven't heard of that one yet. Yes, Tina is awesome. I love watching her stuff, and she is so nice. She is just terribly nice. I've actually commented back and forth with her, and she's really a very sweet person. I really like it. Let's see, any more channel shout outs for anybody that you like to watch? Watching chickens run across the yard. We got, this is the pen. We have our cow in. We also have our 2 sheep and our mini Nubian buckling. And they get along fairly well. It's a decent size. We're going to extend it out with more fencing so that we can open it into a larger field. And let's see, I don't know how to fix the keyframe frequency. It's yelling at me up here on the top of the video. Me. Okay, yeah, pick me, okay. Alright, so one thing that I wanted to kind of discuss this week would be kind of like barter items for a grid down situation. Something that you could have in like a bag that you can take to a place away from your safe haven, your homestead, to, yeah, you get a cow's butt, I'm so sorry. But something that you can take away from your safe haven and have small amounts of where you can go ahead and barter them. Yep, Big Family Homestead, yep. Hi, Mother of Many Horses. So I have my own list of things that I would barter, that I would have in small amounts so that I could trade for things that I may need in a grid down situation, that's a long-term type deal. One of the things would be lighters, matches, and the reasons why I would choose lighters and matches would be for cooking, heat, light, or you can use it for signals if you had to, like lighting a fire for smoke signals. So that would come in handy if somebody needs something to cook with, if it's getting cold and for some reason they lost their lighter or something, and maybe they have ammo or something that you may need to trade with. And those are the sheep. That's Patches. That's right here beside me. Another barter item I would have in small containers, small things, are like those little shots that you can get at the liquor store counters. So those are small, they're lightweight, they're easy to conceal, and if you get like just the plain alcohol, not like all the cinnamon flavored stuff, you can use them for like sterilizing wounds, or some people, if you go back to like way old school days, they used it if somebody was hurting and in pain. So that would be another one that's on my list for bartering. A third one, and I apologize to you guys. And I mean guys on this one. Feminine hygiene products like pads or tampons. Why? Because you can pack or dress wounds with them. They're lightweight and compact and easy to store. That, and if you come across a group with females who were ill prepared, it would be, well, gold. Definitely gold. Yeah, an SHTF situation, a lot of people would be making campfires to cook with, and you got to think, if there's a grid down scenario, you might not have firefighters to put out fires, so there's going to be a lot of smoke. Something else on my list is sugar, like sugar, salt, seasonings in little packs, or even like those little Tupperware containers, or snack baggies, like little plastic bags that you can get at various places. And the reason why this is important is if somebody did prep and have the basic essentials for prepping, or they're hunting or something like that, what you could do is you can use the sugar or the salt or the seasonings to help prevent appetite fatigue. If you get appetite fatigue, you can actually die because your body will reject start rejecting food if it's the same bland stuff over and over again. You'd much rather not eat than eat the same beans and rice plain over and over and over again. But those would be worth something. It would be very, very beneficial to have on hand, and you want to make sure you have plenty of that stored back for you as well, because you can make brownies or something, and that would be really valuable to your family, especially if you have kids, to keep them from the stresses of being off-grid. Let's see, what else? Knives or box cutters. Those would be a good barter item. You can use them for cleaning fish or game, food preparation, opening cans, etc. Because they are easily lost. They are something that could fall out of your pocket or get lost. And you want the lightweight, compact ones. If you're going to trade these, you're going to want like the small folding knives or those little cheap box cutters that you can get for 39 cents at the like True Value or Tractor Supply or something like that. That could come in handy for people as well. And let's see, what else do I have on my list? I have sew kits, like those little ones that you can find in the stores that are mostly novelty because you don't have a whole lot in them, but they would help extend the life of clothing by fixing rips or holes in socks, pants, shirts. Worst case scenario, which is really not ideal, but again, worst case scenario, the little sew kits could be used for stitches. Okay, and if you hadn't noticed, my list is keep things lightweight and compact. You're going to want things making as minimal amounts of noise as possible, so you don't want to draw attention to yourself by having stuff rattle around in your bag as you go. One thing that I thought of was caffeine tablets in the blister packs, because with no deliveries to stores, people are going to have caffeine withdrawals. It'll help groups of people to be on alert if they're on patrol. And like Excedrin, the caffeine in it helps the medicine work. So it can help medicine work. It can help give you that extra boost of energy if you're going a long way. So that might be something in the blister packs. You can rip a few off and trade, or just give them a section of blister packs. Very nice. Another one, and this would be harder if you're a non-smoker, and I'm not going to say packs of cigarettes, because with the packs of cigarettes, they can get crushed and broken and everything in your bag. Oh, really? Caffeine is good for digestion. That is very good to know. Thank you, everybody. But the 8th thing on my list is rolling papers and the loose tobacco, because you can portion out into snack bags a few papers and some rolling tobacco, and they're lightweight, they're not going to crush as easily, especially if you don't roll them yourself, so you let the people that you give them to roll it, and just keep a couple bags of those in your bag for trading. Hand crank flashlights, they do have some small ones of those, because if it's a grid down scenario, your batteries are going to run out of juice and you're not necessarily going to be able to recharge. Coffee and a French press. I think those would be a little harder to carry around to trade. Really, I didn't know you can make coffee out of ground okra, Deep South. I know you can make coffee out of acorns. Moonshine. Now, moonshine, again, if it's in small bottles, you could use that as a good trade item. Let's see. But hand crank flashlights, you're not going to have the batteries run out of juice, and you're not going to be able to recharge. Most people are not going to be able to recharge because of a grid down situation. They're fairly lightweight, and they can be used for lighting or even signaling. Either if you have like a patrol, you can use it to signal with, or you can use it, if you fall, you can use it as an SOS signal. Hi, James. During the Civil War, they used ground okra for coffee. You learn something new every day, don't you? So another item I had on my list were water purification tablets in the blister packs. Again, they do sell those online in blister packs. I did my homework on this. And basically, you can't go more than 3 days without water. And in a grid down situation, if you're going to puddles and everything else, you don't want to get like dysentery? Yeah, whatever that is. You don't want to get a illness or sickness that's going to cause you to be direly ill and causing you to dehydrate further. But yeah, water purification tablets. And as I said, again, these things are all pretty lightweight. They're easy to conceal. And as I said, I'm putting, blister packs for the medicines so that it doesn't shake in your bag. And because if for some reason you see like marauders or you see like a gang of people going around, you want to be able to hide. And if you have pills in your bag shaking, that would not be good at all. And I went and looked at other people's lists that they have for trade, and a lot of them put ammo on their list. I didn't know that. Water purification tablets if you're allergic to iodine. Huh. But a lot of people have ammo as a trade item, and that is something I'm not really willing to trade. I would have to be severely desperate to want to trade ammo, because with ammo you don't know the type of person that you're trading with, and you don't know if you give them that ammo if they're going to use it against you to take your stuff. And I'd rather keep it for hunting and defense for my family. I'd much rather have those extra bullets to be able to go out and shoot a deer or not if you make ammo, true, but I'd rather have it for hunting or defense for my family. A while back I had listened to, what was it, 1 Second After? It was on YouTube. It's 2 parts. It's about 12 hours altogether. I'd love to actually have the book to read. But in that situation, they had ammo was becoming scarce, and they were needing it for hunting, for squirrels, for rabbits. The 22 ammo was just, I mean, they were trading like a rabbit carcass for 20 rounds of ammo, trying to get something there. And with your bartering, if you're taking it from your safe haven or from your homestead, leave your bulk items safe in a safe or hidden location. If you had to bug out for some reason, leave it somewhere safe. and just bring it in small amounts. So if for some reason you get robbed, very good. Yeah, if you get robbed, you're not losing all of your barter items, because there are some people out there that fully intend on taking what other people have, regardless of how much stuff they already have. I did see a Doomsday Prepper episode where they said they were preparing to be marauders. They had 6 months worth of stuff, and they were actually practicing, whole group of them practicing how they would take down people and steal their stuff. So you've got to be really careful, because there are those with that mindset right now in this current society that if there's a grid down situation, they're going to exploit it. So always keep yourself armed when you go to barter. Just make sure that you keep your weapon out of sight. So if you have a handgun, keep it concealed where you can easily access it in case things turn severely south, like you're not going to get out of it with your life. Let's see, if you're in a group, a good idea might be, don't always have the same person go with barter items. So if you have to barter, maybe have different people in your group go with a little bit at over different intervals of time, so that you aren't always known to have something to trade, because then people might get the idea that you have a bunch of stuff and then they'll come try to get it from you. Crossbows are the best weapon to have. They are quiet and deadly. Yeah, my husband wants a crossbow so bad. I want a regular bow, a compound bow. So, for other people's lists that I've seen, what they would have for trade items in a grid down situation, I went to like 4 or 5 different blogs and posts that people have put up on the internet, and ammo was repeated on it. And again, I won't trade ammo unless I am seriously in a dire situation. What other people had on their list was food, freeze-dried meals, or MREs. So maybe if you have an abundance in your garden, or if you have meat rabbits that you raise and you bring a rabbit, that might be something that you can also trade as livestock, depending on the situation, depending on how your area is. If you've got a good community where, you know, you're all hunky-dory, you might be able to trade livestock and stuff like that. But if you're in a bug-out situation where you're trying to get away from the city, you might have some MREs or something. Just make sure that you don't run yourself out of food bartering. Another thing, I had the water purification tablets. Other people had water filters. Just be careful with that, because some of those water filter units get pretty bulky. I know there's the ones that you can stick in a water bottle, but I think they're in boxes or in plastic protection. And again, that you want to have minimal noise as you're traveling. Let's see. First aid and antibiotics were also on other people's lists. So again, this is an item that you really need to be careful with, because you've got to make sure that your family is taken care of first before you go out and give away all of your supplies. If you have an excess of Band-Aids or gauze or something, then yeah, feel free to trade it if you want to. We may be forced to share. How far are you willing to go to keep it? Ooh. That depends. I'm hoping that in a grid down situation that my neighbors and I can all share pretty well. I'm in a pretty small town, so hopefully, and a lot of it's very rural. hardware parts. Yeah, like nails and hammers and stuff like that. Extra bits and pieces would help out in a SHTF. Good thinking, Redhead Ranch. Yeah, but if need be, you gotta think, we've had those riots within the last year in, what was it, Baltimore? They had riots, and they were raiding CVS's and everything else, and that wasn't even a grid down situation. The grid was up. So as soon as the grid goes down, you know that those people who plan on hitting this place, and this place, they have a list of things that they're going to steal. They're going to go and do it. Yeah, antibiotics have expiration dates. Herbs would be a good one, especially medicinal herbs. Let's see. Some people said they'd trade toilet paper. I don't know if I'd want to trade toilet paper for anything. I don't like the idea of having to use a pine cone if I run out on my personal supply. So if it looks like it's going to be a very long-term grid down situation, I'm not going to share my toilet paper. No, thank you. Because I don't want to have to resort to hand washing out scrap cloth that I've had to use. That's yuck. Yeah, there would be radiation poisoning everywhere if that happened deep south. Other people put candles as a trade item. Candles could be... Isn't her washcloth? Oh. Put candles down. That would be... Especially if you can make your own candles. That might be something you could trade. Batteries or things for power. Again, after a while, the batteries will either corrode or run out of juice, and not very many people are not going to be able to recharge those. Not very many people have any sort of way to recharge. Propane. They said they would trade propane for supplies, and that might be something that you need to help warm your house or to cook with or whatever. If you're comfortable, if you have a wood burning stove or something, then you won't have to worry about that, and you might not actually have propane. My wife said that I get to do laundry. Ooh, never trade batteries. Yeah, because they might come in handy for what you know. Yeah, unfortunately, if there's a excessively long grid down situation, again, I've got to reference the 1 Second After book. They did it was a very well written, very realistic way of how things would go. And if you don't have access to the book, you can listen on YouTube, and it's free if you have internet access. So let's see. They also referenced alcohol and cigarettes. Again, I would go with rolling papers and tobacco because it won't be as easy to crush or break. Books, entertainment, and reference. When the grid's down, we're not going to have access to YouTube for our Homestead network. We're not going to have the TV or satellite. If the grid's down, we're not going to have lights or anything like that. So we're going to have to find ways of entertainment. And they put books as entertainment. I'm going to add in here like board games and cards. Stuff that will keep you and your family busy. Maybe even coloring books for kids. Things that will help break the monotony of an off-grid situation. They put down salt. Somebody said coffee. And I know that there is coffee that you can buy that's instant, like instant little packets. So I guess that would be a good barter item. They put down the feminine products. Somebody else put honey and sugar. Honey would be a good one also to trade. Honey would be liquid gold in a grid down situation. Ice. Yeah, I don't know how people would pull that one off. Ice. Unless you have power still, I don't know how you'd make ice to trade. So, hi Dirt Patch Heaven! Somebody put magnifying glasses for starting a fire. I put matches and lighters, so we can also add flint and steel. We can also add the, what do you call those striker stick things? I'm sure one of you would think of it for me. Thank you, please. But it's the ones that you can strike the spark off of. I just can't remember the name for the life of me right now. Somebody else put yeast. Yeast is good for what, a year on the shelf, 5 years. I'm using yeast that's over 5 or almost. Let's see, I'm using yeast that's about 5 years old right now that I've kept in my freezer. And there are a lot of breads and stuff that you can make without yeast, but yeast is essential in some of the bread recipes. You could also think about baking powder and baking soda. That would help too if you want to go that route. Canning lids. I didn't think of this one, but it is an excellent point. Canning lids. Again, I don't think I would share my canning lids because I would, not knowing how long a grid down situation would be, I would want to keep my canning lids for our own personal use, because you're going to be canning a lot more in a grid down situation to try to preserve the harvest that you can't put in a fridge or a freezer. Heirloom seeds. You're going to want the open pollinated heirloom seeds. You're not going to want the hybrid ones because you're not going to be able to collect the seeds to have them grow true to themselves. You're definitely not going to want the GMO stuff because, well, then you'll kill off all your honeybees and everything. And yeah, the scary thing I read on the GMO feeds was they were feeding it to hamsters, and by the 3rd generation of hamsters, they were completely infertile. They could no longer have babies by the 3rd generation after eating GMO seeds or feed. So heirloom, 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 heirloom. Definitely want heirloom. Let's see. And then the last one that a few people touched on, which is also a very good one, is skills, tools, and DIY knowledge. If you have skills, tools, and DIY knowledge, you might be able to barter helping fix a fence for I don't know, bread or eggs or something like that. Now, if you're in a community setting, you're not really trading with strangers. Like, we have chickens, we have a cow, we've got goats that are now in milk. We'd be able to barter eggs, possibly meat, milk. And I know how to bake bread from scratch, and I've even done basic, kind of like a flatbread outside. When I back in Colorado, I had made a rocket stove from just bricks that we had laying around our property, and I was able to cook bread outside. So it depends on what you have that you would be able to trade, what you're willing to part with. DIY books, extra copies, yeah. In that case, even Mother Earth News magazines or Grit magazines, you know, that you might have. Read the book, The Patriot. I'll have to check that out, Deep South. But, yeah, it's definitely scary what you read about when you're trying to be more in touch with where your food comes from. Like when I read that they were wanting to put aspartame in milk, when I read about the stuff on the GMOs, and the GMO one I think was actually in an I know they touched on GMOs in the Mother Earth News magazine. Form. Prescription. I lost my doctor's due to... Oh, that's sad to hear, Doc. I've got bites. Don't mind me. Yeah, that Obamacare is something else. Here, let me adjust this. See the cow. All homemade knives now that I am teaching myself blacksmithing. Ooh, very nice, Big Bear. That is something I would love to learn how to do. Glasses. Yeah, you can always pick up a good one, Donna S. You can always pick up those reading glasses at the Walmart stores, and they've got the different strengths and everything else. So that if you need to, you can trade glasses like that. Very, very good one. So that is kind of ideas for barter items in a grid down situation. But I know you don't have to wait for a grid down situation to do barter. I know the Big Family Homestead started a Facebook page, the Homestead Network Barter page. I think I said that right. Where people are working on bartering. Some have sewing skills where they're willing to sew or knit something. Others have canning skills. I know in the past I've bartered with eggs from my chickens. I've bartered with homemade bread. Let's see. I could probably barter with milk even. But yeah, I had a neighbor come up here to help us out with, because he has a bobcat and it can do more than what our tractor does. So I ended up making him some artesian bread. Let's see. What else? Yeah, just tools, knowledge. So yeah, every little bit you can learn for a grid down situation, the better off you'll be. So the more knowledge and tools. I know Deep South Homestead, any non-electric tools, they're all for. Because if the electricity goes down, you're not going to be able to power that corded drill. You're not going to be able to recharge the batteries for the other ones. Yep, a good thing to work on your bartering skills and people around you that you can barter with. Yes, absolutely. Let's see. I'm seed stocking currently. Clearance heirloom seeds. Yeah, hit them at the end of the season. And artesian. Did I say that wrong? Artesian. The crusty no form bread that you put on a thing and it kind of makes a round shape. That kind of bread. Yeah, unless you have solar. Solar, then you've also got to be careful with solar. We have a neighbor whose solar isn't quite working right, and that's always having to, like if it's a cloudy day, it doesn't work right, and they try to run a dehumidifier because it's rather humid up here. And, you know, after a while, it just drains those batteries and it shuts off. Yeah, an EMP could affect the solar, would affect solar as well. So if it's a grid down situation based on an EMP, then we're not going to have cell phones. We're not going to have pretty much anything. Our vehicles won't work. We are going to be on foot. Something you might want to keep on hand in that kind of situation, you're going to want good shoes. If you're having to walk, you're going to want to have moleskin, because even if you have good shoes, you're going to get blisters on your feet because you're going to be walking for a while until you build up those calluses. Would EMP affect wind power? Probably, Kitty, because it gets hooked up to a battery bank as well. And it's those delicate wires that could put it out. Faraday cage. It would fry a generator. Yeah, easier said than done with the backups for the in a Faraday cage. I know that we had a lightning storm the other day that it actually shut off our grid electricity for probably about 10 or 15 seconds, but it like reset our neighbor's solar for some reason. It just completely stopped the solar. Everything that was running on solar for them just went down. Yeah, backups of your backups. What is that saying, that prepper saying? 1 is none, 2 is 1. Absolutely. Really? I didn't know you can make a Faraday cage with the fencing. Is it just something to divert the energy of an EMP? I would love to learn more about that. Backups to your backups to your backups to your backups. Or underground. Yeah. So, yeah, different items for bartering. Bartering skills are definitely something that would be good. Grid down. You also have to be careful, because if you do realize that there are some unsavory groups in your area, you don't want, like, we have a goat that just yells and yells and yells, and he's going to go in the freezer after we fatten him up a little bit more. But, I mean, the neighbors down like a half-mile away can hear him, and if there is absolutely quiet, peace and quiet, no cars running, no electricity, nothing like that, I don't even want to know how far they would be able to hear him, because that would just be an announcement. Hey, there is food here. Come get it. And yeah, I'm pretty sure he would be the first to go. Yeah, she's just hanging out back there, isn't she? She's just like, okay, I'm done eating. I'm gonna lay on the hay. And the 2 sheep went into the run-in, and then we've got the little buckling. I don't know if you can see him. He's back that way. He's just eating. He thinks he's a sheep. Yeah, the little goat, we stuck him in with the lamb before we took her to butcher. And afterwards, we tried to put him with the other Billy. The other Billy didn't even like him. He would yell and yell and yell. And he kept trying to go over to hang out with the sheep. So we stuck him in with the sheep because he thinks he's a sheep. But yeah, they're all hanging out in the same pen. Oh, nope. The sheep are back there. They're laying by the fence over that way. Anybody else have goats that don't think they're goats? I know Ann Crumb has her little homestead, and her goat thinks it's a dog. It's in with the dogs. Yeah, I don't know if they're smarter than humans, if the cows are smarter than humans, Grandpa's farm, but they certainly can be more ornery. I thought I was ornery until I got this cow. And she is definitely an ornery cow. It's like, I swear, she knows what she's doing. There is something that I was told by my grandmother that might be of interest to some before refrigeration. Spill it, Donna. I'd be happy to hear it. Hi, Basics to Living. Glad you could make it. I'm turning my metal shop into a large cage. Yes, root cellars. Root cellars are very important because you'd be able to keep your harvest down there, and you'd have extra room for like canned goods. Yeah, I was wondering about the Faraday cages, and if they have to be aluminum or if they're steel, or how does that work? Okay, Donna S., you answered the question. You said when they didn't have the ice boxes or ice, they used a spring, rocks at different heights, and hung things from overhanging trees. Okay, so they did they have like a spring house? Is that kind of what you were talking about? Where it kept the animals out, but it allowed the water to run through and keep things cool? There are new types of EMP. Oh, please share, Deep South. I haven't heard of the new types. Yes, to root cellars. Yes, I completely agree. I think root cellars are definitely important. Now my husband's over here playing with the livestock guardian. Come here, come say hi. Come say hi. No, what? He just went to me. He just completely just passed me off. Hi, Bumblebee Junction. Fashionably late. At least you made it, right? Now I'm just kind of chit-chatting because I thought I had enough to keep me really, really busy for the hour, but I didn't. Yes, all of our EMP info is based on old info. Ooh, that makes me really curious to find out what kind of EMPs are how powerful the new EMPs would be and what they would do to stuff even in a Faraday cage. That would be something that'd be very interesting to learn about. Oh no, is it freezing up? I'm sorry. As I said, I'm trying to get this thing worked out, all the glitches worked out. I don't know. Maybe it's because my laptop's getting hot. Pardon me while I move my laptop around. I try to get my hubby out here to help to keep the conversation going. He just passed me off. I will get him on here eventually. He will come and sit down and chat too. He doesn't think he's going to, but I'm sure that he's going to show up. Cold Spring came out of ground. Huh, very nice. Finally had to... Ethernet cable. I don't know if I have a very long Ethernet cable. I know it's based on satellite and the thingy's hooked up to Wi-Fi and it's all interesting. Go mobile, hunt him down. Hey, they want you to say hi. Come here, come here, come here. Yeah, I'll have to figure out how, as a prepper, how much sugar is enough. Yeah, not enough. There's not enough. Because you got to think, you can use it in breads, you can use it to help sweeten up drinks and do desserts and stuff to change up the monotony of it. So sugar is good, honey is really good. Even if it crystallizes, you can warm it up and melt the crystals back down, and not a problem, Simply Circus. But yeah, sugar, have a variety. Sugar and honey and even molasses. Keep things on hand. Honey will last pretty much indefinitely. They found honey in the tombs of the Egyptians that was perfectly fine. It was just crystallized. Well, that's good to know, Dirt Patch. Thank you for sharing that. She said that they have about 600 pounds between the honey, molasses, and actual sugar. And I know that people can grow stevia. We were unsuccessful back in Grand Junction. It might have been too hot and dry. We might be more successful out here in a more humid environment. I don't know. It'll be something we have to try. Hold on a second.
You're live, honey.
I know I'm live.
You're live. You're buffering, too.
Yeah, I'm buffering. Say hi to the hubby. I just hunted him down. Say hi.
I said hi.
Uh-huh.
A long hunt from 20 feet away.
Yeah, long hunt for 20 feet. But I got him. See?
I'm going to go pick up some wild blackberries.
Yeah, he's going to go pick some wild blackberries now so that he doesn't be in the film. Let's see. They say hi to you. Some of them couldn't see you. Next time you need to bend down lower. Okay, canned jams are good sources of stored sugar too. I prefer it stored with bread and peanut butter. Yeah, store it between bread and yeah. That's awesome. Or if you do like an artesian bread, you can have that as breakfast, artesian bread with jam on it. That would also be a good barter item, would be like canned jams and maybe like the little half pints. 300 jars of jams and jellies. I need to, oh yeah, my husband's going to pick blackberries, so the wild blackberries that we have a bunch on the other side of that fence. It's the reason why we didn't get closer to the trees with the fence. And I'm hoping to make some blackberry jam. But, hi! Hi, Maggie. Maggie figured out she can come over here to me. This is one of our livestock guardians. Let me see if I can... You want to try making your own peanut butter? Well, I heard peanuts aren't too hard to grow, so if you grow your own peanuts, you can make your own peanut butter easy and cheap. But I'm so sorry that the screen is freezing. Fruit butters too. Yes, I've made peach butter. Oh my gosh, that stuff was like candy. And then I did a cinnamon peach butter that was just as good. So that was awesome. First year of blackberry picking. Yummy. Oh, I was so thrilled to find out that we had we had wild blackberries on the patch. Aha. Oh, the cat does not like the dog.
Hey.
The hubby brought the cat out. Hey, Cece. She really does not like the dog, does she?
She keeps trying to come outside.
Yeah, this is our indoor kitty. She had allergies back in Colorado, and we don't know if she has allergies out here or not. But she keeps trying to come outside lately. I think it's either to adopt a squirrel or maybe one of the baby goats. We read more when we watch. You're doing great. Thank you. But, yeah, this is Cece. This is my hubby. This is Nick.
Hello.
I don't know if you can see or if the stream's still frozen. Old Ways. That sounds delicious. Oh, I missed what Old Ways said. Pumpkin butter.
It's a cow.
Yeah, that would be cool to try to grow peanuts. I would love to try that if we have enough garden space once we establish where the garden's going to go. Frozen, still frozen. Oh, shucks. I'm so sorry, you guys. Yeah, I'll have to play with it some more to figure out. Yeah, I don't get it. It was less frozen yesterday when I did a test. Okay. Hi, living on a dime. Yeah, the cow. Thank you for stopping by. Apple butter made with cinnamon red hots. Interesting. Wild caps didn't... I've never tried pumpkin butter. It sounds really, really good. I'm going to have to try that. But I'm one who's... I love pumpkin pie, too, so... Deep South Homestead, I did not know you grew peanuts. Maybe too far from the wireless and hot computer. I don't know. I'll have to figure that one out.
Not too far from the wireless. We're actually closer to it.
We're actually closer to the wireless? Yeah, closer than at the house. Yeah, where I was sitting on the outside of the house. I'll figure it out. Bit rate, you need not to use your full internet bandwidth. Try to stream the basic settings are for super high end. So I need to change the bit rate? Minuteman, would you be able to private message me with how to do that? Because I have no clue. Yeah, she's awesome, isn't she? She gets right up here and says hi. And I can walk her just by grabbing her harness and walking her. We have a switchback that goes down the hill for, I don't know, quarter or mile or something, and they couldn't get up the hill to our place to drop her off, so we had to, I actually had to walk her up the hill when we got her. Okay, so it's living on the dime next. I'll go ahead and call it quits for tonight. And this way you guys can run to the restroom if you have to or whatever. And yeah, head on over to Living on a Dime. Thank you so much, you guys, for stopping by. I have not done the drawing for the book yet. You can still enter in today. And I'll be doing the drawing for the book either Sunday or Monday, because sometimes it has, I've noticed, to check the subscribers, sometimes they don't show up right away after they subscribe. So once I verify that everyone has subscribed and done their comments, then I'll do the drawing. Alright, you guys have a good night. Thank you very much for showing up.